Hi, can you hear me? I'm just going to try to get this lighting right so I don't have to always adjust myself. Yeah, that will be good. Let's see, good. We have the light down here. That's probably good. Oh, look at that. Except for some eye glare, not too bad, right? Hopefully we can. Yeah, I never did. Hi, everyone. This is Coyote. Welcome to Coyote Heart Destiny and the Sylph. I did not ever get my ring. This is reminding me. And then having visions to go on the road and move kind of flew away from my list of things to get. Currently, I'm just wanting to order a full slip for underneath dresses I'll attract. But yeah, keep the ring in mind, right? So welcome to my channel. If you feel you would like to, please subscribe and pass this forward, especially if you find some value in it. Like that, that's really helpful. Also in the description, I did put how you could get in touch with me. Aside from that, hello and happy Monday evening, Eastern Standard Time. We're at 6:20 p.m. My idea tonight was to come on and share through an oracle message. I always, and I usually have said in the past, just how to stay bright and light and work with these times. There are many of you out there who know that just something is up. Mostly the jig is up. And mostly many of you are understanding that stuff hasn't made sense for a while, but you're busy. You're busy working. You're busy with kids. You're busy with school. You're just busy, working and then exercising or staying as happy as you can, or maybe even looking at other places and ways to live, like I am. And but you question things, and yet maybe you don't know where to go, or there's too much flack around you, so you just be, as agreeable and amenable as possible. I get it. And down the hall here, the mainstream media is playing their violin, and I would think that even someone who hasn't known about current times would be tired of hearing the same old story. I mean, just the residue of what I get hurts my ears. My ears are sensitive to lies, and that's me. But this isn't necessarily for you to drink my Kool-Aid, because you may totally disagree. But the cards that never lie, they are about us connecting and being filled with ease and ways to look. And I don't know if my friend in Australia, Lily Maria, will see this. She's not feeling well right now. She's attracted having hives or an allergic reaction, which is her arms and over a lot of her skin, which she deals in selling crystals. And a package she received for her clients to show her wares seemed to have something in it that she had adverse reaction. And she's, as a attractive woman, she's upset and it's all over. And she didn't like hearing my words. That perhaps, she has things going on. And in the event of, yes, buying her wares to share on her wonderful channel, which is, I think it's called Awakened Gems with Lily. And she has really great deals, so check her out. Awakened Gems. You can probably direct message her, Lily Maria. Currently, I'm not selling any crystals. It's something I like to do, and she certainly encouraged that. So we're friends, but she's not liking me right now because, and I'll tell you, and I'll tell whoever, we are energy, and we attract our situations by default or on purpose. And certainly I've had episodes where I've attracted what I did not want in intensity or in a brief hiccup because of my fear or giving that subject airtime or just beliefs running our biology that we've gotten used to accepting, even if we don't really like them that much, but we've accepted that that's probably part of a situation or choice that could happen. And not as much airtime too. I'm wonderful, I'm beautiful, I'm creative, courageous, and money and good things and magnet. Hey, that lottery ticket comes to me. And feeling that, feeling that, and like that, and not having to broadcast it to other humans who have other beliefs and situations and energy running their biology. So you focus on yourself. But this Lily did not like me saying perhaps she had something that she was thinking that brought this to her attention and alignment. And maybe she'd like to check out, and this is something you could do, check out Louise Hay, Hay. She's since croaked, but she wrote a book, You Can Heal Your Life, and some other books. These are also free on YouTube to listen to, or you may have Audible or some other audio book arrangement. But she also has a little blue book, and or you can find it if you do some digging on the internet, where you can see a malady you're currently experiencing or concerned about and an affirmation and what it points to. So usually when you're very, very itchy or you break out in hives or these emotions and energies come to the surface for you to see, for you to take a handle and say, oh, I was super really upset with that situation and I didn't want to face it, or oh, those people got under my skin, that person got under my skin, that situation got under my skin, and I was not in alignment with taking care of myself, or you gave that situation power enough, you may break out. Now, she would like to blame it on this package that came perhaps from China or somewhere else that seemed to be packaged dirty. No doubt, I'm sure it was dirty. I'm sure it was filthy, you know. But there would be an attraction of something she had been thinking, something in her biology, something in her path. Now, she wants to deny that and be mad at me, and that's okay. I'm using it as an example. She doesn't know I'm using it as an example, but we have had a little bit of back and forth chat, which has every good wish and every intention of soothing, not of incriminating or pointing any kind of a blame. Because I too had something happen, right? I was under the weather. I'm sure a couple of people thought I had the sea bug. Whatever it was my own experience and to clear up, because especially I was afraid to move. And I am going to be moving on a shoestring budget with my two cats. And, that's in progress. And so it looks like I will be leaving the 6th to the 10th, the 8th. It won't be past the 10th. It will probably be the 6th or 7th or 8th. And that feels more correct for me, even though, yeah, I'm a little scared, but I know my destiny, my future hasn't been made, but my destiny is about going out and being that gypsy and having new experiences. And I'm being, asked to go where my soul will feel its joy. And yes, wherever we are, we can create that. But I, for a long time, have been feeling like this room and this house and this situation is stagnant and a dead endedness for me, and it's time to go. So, in a push or fear to move and yet not following, I created being unwell. Now I'm much, much better. In fact, I'm all better. But in my little bits of fear, I'm, still taking my supplements and doing my best to catch myself in my thought and making every day a stride to move forward to show the universe and my own energetic partnering, we're going. And so, folks, it'll be, I believe, an A state, like it could be Alabama, Arizona, it could be Arkansas, but I'm leaning toward Arizona. If it's an A in a town city, that could look like Asheville, Ashland. That could look like one of those Arcadia or another name in Florida, because I'm keeping Florida as an option as well. So, and my idea was to go to a freer space where folks are really are going around more with no masks, which I believe is more Florida overall. And then there are many places in Arizona, especially southern Arizona, that are not. But this worldwide event is coming to an end and close because most people have had it in regard, no matter what really their beliefs are, unless they're totally extremely fearful. Extremely fearful. But you cannot put all your stock in the mainstream media because that is just one ticker tape idea. And it's not offering you other. Like they've never ever on mainstream media ever said anything about God, your immune system. They've never ever ever propagated, supported, detailed outline how to really infuse and keep your immune system high. In fact, they always downplayed that your immune system doesn't really know that much, and you should have pharmaceutical and vaccines and cover up and not talk and stay dumb things. And you don't have to agree with me, but if you're a real science person, you know they're dumb. And everyone out there that's on mainstream media is lying and not telling you the truth because they want you to believe their ticker tape. And if you were to, as a student, listen to what they say and take notes and watch the pattern, you would see every 20, 25 minutes throughout the hour they're repeating. They're repeating a story. It's nothing new. It's not like years ago, even though there was evil then, where there were debates. There were a lot of debates shows, especially Saturday and Sunday nights, Sunday afternoons, when there wasn't baseball on, because baseball in America really dominated, and basketball was really baseball, hockey, basketball, but definitely baseball was like supreme. And it still is a very, probably could be the number one sport. But even now, soccer, right? Soccer has become a worldwide, like it's everywhere. And even American kids want to be like, great soccer players. So I'm just saying that there were shows that had different points of view debating. Whether they were both evil, not evil, whatever was going on in that 60s and 50s and 70s, and they still have those. So it made, if you were a thinking person and if you were of different beliefs, you could sit down and see these entitled folks, some that may represent your corner of the world, but they were bringing up different evidences. And so you could even follow their dots and then look up things. You'd have to go to a library then. There weren't computers available to the regular folks then. There weren't phones to carry in your pocket then, except on Star Trek. So I want to just say that. So if Lily Maria or her friends ever hear this, anything I say is not meant to attack. It's not even meant to point a finger. I'm just saying that the word accountability for us is about really, people talk about doing shadow work. People talk about being righteous, and I say I love nobility, or being invincible, or being ethical, being integral. But that can, switch around, and we can even play with that word accountability. But if you're super accountable, you don't look at things as like my fault, but you're willing to step up, and you're willing to step up, take stock, apologize if you do need to, and if you don't apologize. That you're not going to apologize. You hold your ground, but you take stock for your actions and what you do. Like I know I have a motherfucking truck driver mouth at times. And it's not about apologizing for that. It's part of who I am at times. It really helps me feel clean and clear instead of not knowing that word to get out. And some people were trained to take offense by that. Now, if I'm swearing at you directly, you might take offense to it, and I might really mean it at the time as well. And I might not take it back because I really mean it. But doing it makes me feel better. And so, if you don't like that fluff, don't pay attention to, and then read through and hear what I'm saying, because don't shoot the messenger every single time she shows up, because she has a lot of good things to bring you. Being accountable is like, so I'm not vegan right now. I'm eating what I want right now. I'm having chicken, and I'm having meat, and I'm having cheese, and I'm having dairy, I'm having whatever. Tastes good. It's let's say it's comfort food. I don't know if it's always soul food, but it's certainly comfort food. And that's where I'm at. Now, do I think I'm going back to being a vegetarian or vegan? I think so, because it's cleaner eating, and that's really who I am. But for this time, I've needed to just divert. And being fully accountable, chicken may taste good, and meat may taste good. And we, at some point, who've ever been a meat eater for 30 years or 80 years of your whole life, you might have eaten human flesh too in there, based on how our society is. But it's not about getting upset. It's about being so accountable that you're aware that we are a species that eats other species. So the reptilians or evil greys or other certain people that have sold humans in trade and done despicable, that we think are despicable things, well, they're a species, sell species to eat, propagate, take their organs, eat them, breed them. We do the same. What we do to lamb and calves and chickens and take the skin of beavers and minks and call it okay. And quite frankly, it's not okay. I mean, it's not like, in a sense, okay. Has been part of our evolution, has been part of our experience. But if you look at it in the big picture, while everything's okay under the sun and the mind of God is experiencing everything, let's be accountable. We've caused pain and suffering. So when I eat meat and chicken, for me, I am so grateful because that is what I want right now. And yes, I do wish to gravitate back because, again, I like the cleaner eating. But as a human, are we still doing harm? Well, there's plants, and plants have a consciousness too. They give their lives that we may know beauty. When we cut them down and put them in vases on our table, where the plant lives, the grain and the corn, and every being that we have used for food, on some level of consciousness, does know that that is part of a cycle that they might be here for. However, I'm sensitive about feelings, and so that's why I say being fully accountable, it's not meant for you to crumble, but to just be accountable to the energy and area and environment around you that is alive, and in that space is alive with the force of the energy of the universe that creates worlds, that creates timelines and galaxies and dimensions and all manner of beings seen and unseen. The all is one, the one is all. So I wanted to pull, and that's my thing about accountability, and it's not meant to make anyone upset because I would motherfucking say if you should be upset, you motherfucking stupid person. I would say that right to your face. But I didn't. I didn't say that. And sometimes I am upset because maybe sometimes I'm a dummy and maybe you're a dummy too. That's okay, we're learning. But every time we go through something, we get better at where we want to be in our own selves and our own, with our partner, with our own soul, if you choose to. And you don't have to blame it on anyone else, right? So I want to put some cards on looking at current events in our own selves, because it's very easy to pass judgment. Good things are happening. They're just not told on your regular TV or your regular newspapers. And, even the psychic community sometimes is very diverse and divided, because even some woo-woos, they still wear a mask and they get vexed and they're fearful and they're reading cards, and they may not be accurate for you, but just saying, and some don't. I don't. I'm not going to. I'll have experiences around that. If I'm really in myself and really knowing who I am and in the power that I'm connected to, I'm unseen by those who would find fault. Because I don't have time for that. In fact, I catch it within myself if I'm finding fault. Because I'm really getting away from all that. But there are moments, I'm ornery, a little feisty. I think feistiness is good. Keep you young. Yeah. So let's pick some cards. I'd like the cards to help us tonight, and me, kind of show a way of reminding bright things. I also wanted to see if I could see within them, when are we gonna, have even more evidence of physical reality brightness from these events. But it is about, give us information about staying true and free and clear of the lies of this time, and showing us some lightness in the days ahead. My style right now is just to go through the cards and see what pops out. That might change. Okay, I'm at a stopping place, so I'm going to take that one. Yeah, I haven't talked to my cards in a while, so let's see what comes up. So far, 3 cards are here. Is this coming? Wow, 4. 5. This is going to be a little bit longer than I thought. And then I have 1 to end. So put those aside. Let's see what we've got. Now you may recall or know that my cards are basically very positive. They're spiritual. Okay. And then I have my little notes aside here too. I don't know where a pen went, in case I had to jot down some things, but I'll leave it at that for now. Let's see what's going on. I also may revert to, I don't want this to be too long, and this is really a lot of information. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. Okay. Wow. All right, within the next 6 weeks, we are going to see so much change and transformation. In the next 6 weeks, we already know that UK and Ireland do not wear masks. They took away the vax mandates and their mask mandates. We also know that there's more talk, like in the Boston area, since I'm on the East Coast, for example, more talks about, and I don't know what's going on, don't know what they said, but about rules and mandates for vaccines and things. So all these things are coming to the surface, but each time they seem to be coming more and more truth to the top. But I really feel like within the next 6 weeks, this is, and I have heard from like Simon Parks, they say Charlie Ward has said stuff, but that this end of the month is very crucial, but the end of this month and these next 6 weeks. So now going into February, which would put us 6 weeks. So we are at the 24th. So 31st, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So really between now and the end of February, but I even think it's sooner than that. And definitely by spring, no one's going to be going around in masks. That's in my heart. I wish that, but that's what I really think because it's everything's coming to the surface. London, England, and Ireland are not going back to masks. What you're going to have is a domino, and there's a lot of talk about the financial system and it not looking too good and Wall Street, blah blah. And so what I believe is if mainstream media plays it that these terrible things are happening, it could be that the military comes forward. And please don't worry about Russia because there is not going to be a war. There might be a little, if there are some pops, it's not going to be, US is not going to be at war with Russia. There's not going to be any crap like that. I think a lot of things on TV, again, it's like a child doing a book report who didn't look up things in books, but was very creative and gave the book report in front of the class and just said stuff. The teacher doesn't have time. This is a really brilliant person who's read so many stuff to look up every single book on every single thing. The teacher's going to look at the site notes look fine. A few books, okay, and where they came from. You could make up the title of a book, the author, publishing house, that when it was published, blah blah blah. You can put it, type it all in, and do your book report. Where'd you get your book? On Amazon. It was one of the ones left. I thought was a really cool title. You can say a lot of shit. So there's so many thousands and billions of books out there. Anyway, to me, TV is like reports on TV are like a kid with a book report. Whatever's going to get me an A, I'm going to say at this time. Okay, so let's see what we got. The titles that we have to begin. The portal is open. The portal is open. And there are intuits saying that there have been portals opening. So, right? And I think do we just have a portal open on the 21st? I don't always follow that, right? I should bring that to you. Think outside the flock, okay? Being accountable, thinking a different way. We can't have a new world by templates that were before. We've got a totally different way of creating. Take a stand. And you're going to have to. You're going to have to pick a side, saying who you are. Are you going to be an upstanding person, or are you always going to slink back into shadow? Are you going to allow for evil to breathe upon this planet, which starts in your heart and your soul and this body? Are you going to be from a place that you long for a takeover where it's whatever you want over someone else? You can take a stand for nobility. I would. And that's a risk too, right? In the face of people just wanting to slide. Or take a stand like, and I'm not going to pay the government because they're a lie, and I know the IRS is going downhill. So I'm going to stand where I know truth is for me. Okay. Move with the flow. There is no death, which is really, there is no death. You know, in one of the famous lines, probably in many movies, but especially like The Mummy, where the bad guy is sinking away into the abyss. There is no death. Of course, how they show him is he ends up in the hell, you know. But and I don't believe quite that. But there is no death. We're removed from this flesh to experience another timeline and reality, which is back to consciousness, where we are light. It's super light. Have you ever left your body? It's super light. When you have an accident or near-death experience, when you leave your body, it's very, very light. It's lightness. It doesn't feel like a planet. It doesn't feel like a place. It feels like openness, and you're in everything that's light. It's free, so free. And the last card, rise to the occasion. The goddess is asking you. This is the time of the rise of the goddess, the age of Aquarius, the honoring of the feminine in both a masculine body and a female body, honoring the earth. So how can we be with all these new changes? How are these cards helping us? The portal is open, is reminding us that we're not alone in the universe, and that we will be visited, and that we are helped by our cousins, Palladians, Syrians, Arcturians, Lyrians. There are many, many goodly Andromedians, many, many goodly space cousins, space folks. Just as we are still related, still have had a hand with the Greys, the Reptilians, the Orions, I think they are. There are some, a more malevolent species of our cousins. And because we have a reptilian brain, we have a little bit of what's called reptilian brain in the back of our heads. The portal is open for us to understand that we're not alone in the universe, and that's a good thing. Just like we're not alone, we have invisible helpers of our ascended masters, angels, relatives, ancestors that have gone before us who are around to help us. The portal is open, it's magical, because it's letting us know there are timelines and places, dimensions that we can visit, that we've been, and probably are now incarnate here to help each other in this lifetime, or to be a mirror of some way, even if we're a dreaded association, to help us in this lifetime. The portal is open. The portal is beginning. We are going to have What I really thought is that we wouldn't, in the beginning, or what I heard and what I kind of felt like, we weren't going to be really ready for, um, what do you call, the aliens to reveal themselves for quite some time, like 2035. That may be when it's the fullest, like interdimension travel it's here. It's here now, but there are only a few people who've actually, get beamed on spaceships and get beamed back, or have talked and had their cousins in their living room and so forth. But I believe that the portal is open. I believe that they are here. I believe that our cousins have been walking among us for a long time, both evil and benevolent. I believe the stories that they were weak in some ways against the evil and had a really difficult time maintaining the energy of this planet as it was to stay full time for us, and have been still helping us on many, many levels. There's just too many accounts of those who see God, see angels, see benevolent beings, who hear them, who work with them, that are true and documented. So the portal is open. This new age of Aquarius, this 2022, is the bridge to more portals and the portal all around us that we might recognize. Vortex is basically created by structures coming together. A portal, a vortex is swirling energy, but it's created like you can walk in the woods and the tree branches come to a thickness that converge, and you're in a vortex. Notice how you feel. You can be so easily in a dreamy state during that walk, during that quiet, especially if you're alone in the woods on a spring day, or you're alone on a crisp winter day, walking in fresh snow. You're in a vortex of creation. You're in a tunnel. And with right circumstances, you could be in an altered timeline. And quite frankly, you are when you're daydreaming during that vortex experience. The portal is open. They say at Mount Shasta, folks went underneath there to what they named as Telos. So our ancestors have been on this planet and in this planet for a long time. So the portal is open. That's a card number 22, which is an angel number, or we can make it a 4, which I always thought was about domestic bliss. And 4, I'm going to get to a 4 for us. Being in a leap of faith. So trust that the portal is open for great things to happen. Think outside the flock. 29, 9, 10, 11 also becomes a number 2. So together, between the first card and second, we have 222. Big angel number. Look up 222. Big angel number. So 29, 11, which is 2. And that second card, which is balance and harmony, yin and yang, vibration of balance, co-create with the universe. What was I saying, right? Co-create with the universe. We must think outside the flock. Those of you who have very strong convictions about no mask or no vaccines, or have changed their mind and are no mask and no vaccine, I salute you, because these things are going to come out. Now, you have a right to wear the mask. You have a right to be afraid. You have a right to have many vaccines, because that's what you know. And for me, from my side, while I want to be gentle about that, what I know, what I experienced as a child, what I see is that we all have had programs, and we're coming to know we can break those patterns of programming. Sometimes our very good friends in Australia, sometimes our very good friends here in America, down the street, across the street, hospitals, jobs, they are so do what you say and no, I've got that disease and you won't tell me any other thing. Unfortunately, they're not, as much as they might be of God. And even my friend Lily, she's a card reader and she's lovely, she's intuitive, but we can be in our fear and have a veil come over where we cannot see the bigger picture just yet. It's here. We can't just see it just yet. So blessings. Here you have, and I want to say this is a mound, a sacred mound in Glastonbury, and I want to say Ireland. It's all in my little book. I'm just kind of going by memory. Correct me if you know best. Correct me. There's a spaceship there, so again, the portal is open. A ship of our cousins watching over us. The eyes, mirror of soul, and sheep. Now, sheep, I don't know that sheep are bright, but I know that they love their master. They wish to follow. They're very meek. They want to eat. They want to sleep. They want to roam. They want to be safe. But we must think about outside the flock. When it comes to be fully accountable, when it comes to thinking timelines and thinking what is really going on, we have to think beyond just what is and allow that there's many other possibilities and that the dots and timelines do connect and all will converge to the truth. So 222, big angel number in a row. Now we're moving on to a historical figure. This person was a warrioress, and when she took charge of her tribe, they won their battles and they won their freedom. And this is Take a Stand. And Return of Velasta, that's her name. And I believe that her outfit is in the museum. So that's been saved. I think her bow, but definitely her armor torso piece and maybe her shield. But that's in the museum in another country. I don't think it's in America. Take a Stand. It's in number 7. It's a very good number. We'll look that up. Strong in conviction. She has found a solution, and it meant sticking up for what she believed in and leading others who may have not had a strong leader or too afraid to go their own, but needed to see the one who believed. She did change. She did change their destiny. Number 7. So where are you on your path to change your destiny? The future hasn't been written. You can add to the collective of the future being positive by a kind thought, prayer, and mostly staying on a higher vibe. So, number 7. Prepare for a spiritual awakening. These past 2 years, and especially now, very much the age of Aquarius, this is a great awakening. This is an awakening of spirituality. There is no getting away anymore that God doesn't exist. Yes, infinite consciousness is. It can be proven because it can be measured, because energy is neither created nor destroyed, and because emotions can be measured with machines, and because if you watch any movie you want, whether it's a horror or a crime drama or a romantic movie, you can actually see, if you look at the script and hear the words, and you were to go back and see when was that movie written or script or movie written and released, and you study what was going on in current climate, you would have a mirror of what was going on in the general culture of where it was written and some information of the world and issues on the planet at the time. It's very uncanny. But of course, watch your movie for entertainment, but I also advise saying, I do not consent, because there's a lot of evil and evil subliminal in movies. Because a lot of movies teach you either fear, they can teach you how to kill, they teach you how to be numb against those who are killed because of an issue of right and wrong and wanting to see, the lovers or the that guy get smacked away. There's just judgments, even though it comes in, you want those persecuted to rise up and be not persecuted and be freed, of course. But remember, every subject is really two subjects. And in every story, no matter how boldly and honorably told, there's that little bit of evil that's there. So we're going to find our way to recognize evil or shadow and keep it in such a way that it's our friend, not to dawn it, but to know that we're not making those choices that feed that shadow, that evil or wrongdoing, but foster a way of kindness, love, invincibility that actually arrests and transcends and sends that energy off where it can be recalibrated and return as other energy that feeds us in prosperity and harmony and humor and agelessness and conviction of care and feeds us so many magical properties that at some point it's like you have your boat and I have my palace and then I have my new shoes and then I live to be 1,000 and so many wonderful things happen out of that. So number 7, prepare for spiritual awakening good for synchronistic events. Just like the synchronistic events on the planet now, everything's being orchestrated through the movie, through the show, to let better and better things happen. But it took people to also stand with no masks, report the truth of what was going on in their area in the world, and talk to many people from, London was talking to America, America to Canada, Spain, Spain to France, to Australia, to New Zealand, all over the planet. We were connecting with each other, even though it wasn't told on your mainstream media because it's just a one-way block. And there are whistleblowers who have come out this whole time. Some were whistleblowers about the deep space program and they were knocked off, they were killed. Some were reporters who were knocked off and killed. Some were politicians who were knocked off and killed that had something to say that would challenge the mainstream narrative, as they call it. And religious people knocked off and killed. Innocent people knocked off and killed to make a point of keeping diversions going, keeping questioning going about police and black and Asians and all kinds of cultures at odds with each other, supremacy, non-supremacy, racism, racist theories, but all these things coming to the light so that we can choose and be aware. And yes, dear, slavery did not begin with the white people. People of color have been enslaving each other forever and still do. And if you would talk to some Ghanaians, they're going to tell you Ghanaians made deals with British people at the time to sell Africans, Ghanaians, into slavery. So you have to really go back and know history, and all of us take a look at. And by the way, black people, people of color, you're Moors. You're from a very noble, warlike, brilliant, proud, intelligent peoples with rich history. You're not just black and you got thrown into being a slave and your ancestors got killed and knocked off or lamenting in Africa. So look at things. And by the way, there were a lot of black politicians in the early time of our history when our country was growing. But there were some predominantly white folks that started the Ku Klux Klan and were knocking off a lot of black people. And it still existed, and Hillary Clinton was friends with all of them. You gotta just look at the dots and look at who's in charge of things and where's your money going? And why do we have chemtrails? And why does the salt on the road that's supposed to melt the ice filled with toxic material that as it evaporates we're breathing in? And why are they made of toxic material? Why are cars still putting ducks and geese and monkeys and pigs and cats and dogs and all manner of sweet animals in cars, strapping them and testing out to see what happens to their bodies when they crash at 90 miles an hour and 180 miles an hour? Why are we doing that fucking evil thing? If you just crash at 10 miles an hour, you got a dent. If you crash at 30 miles an hour, you got a bigger dent. If you crash at 50 miles an hour, you got a problem with another car. And people die easy in crashes. So what the fuck why are you experimenting on animals? Stop it. That's why I mean full accountability. Really step up account. You don't need to do it. And by the way, Whole Foods, you don't need to be putting sugar in everything when I go to the hot bar and read all these great good. And why are you using canola oil anyway? Why don't you step up? Step up and be using that virgin olive oil. Step up and using coconut oil. Step up and using grapeseed oil. What the fuck is the matter with you? Jeff Bezos he's buying bars anyway, the motherfucker. But anyway, I'm just saying, you need to be accountable and stand. I chose to have that macaroni and cheese and chicken, whatever they did. But pretty soon that's going to come out of my life because while it tastes good, and that's just it, poison can taste good until it hits you, man. You're shot. can be good for you until you have that graphene oxide make you explode. I took antibiotics. I could feel it on the seventh day. When I felt that poison, I took it 2 more days. I took it the whole thing because I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. But I know I'd rather not. I still went back to my supplements, still continued. Did the antibiotics help? I'm sure that they did. Did the antibiotics also fill me with poison? I'm sure that it did. It's going to kill me? Not today. It's going to kill me in 3 years? Not. It's going to kill me in about 357 years? Unless I remake my contract, I'll be leaving the planet at 357 years old. I've been living a long time, and I'll look like this or better. Because that's what I want. And if not, well, you're not going to lose sleep over it. Hopefully, you're entertained by this whole thing. Because I have a concept of I can have what I want. It'll come to me in a way that the universe has partnered with me as long as I can keep myself calibrated and aligned. Even my road trip that I've been afraid of, if I can keep myself calibrated and aligned for something wonderful, it's going to happen. I don't have to worry. We're going to show up in that house, the tiny house or the cottage. What I need in it, what I want in it, what makes me happy, uplifted is going to be there. And I'm going to teach and have art and all the things that I've been wanting to design, just like you can have. All right, let's return to the cards. Move with the flow. Move with the flow. We have a woman surrounded by the lush, plenty, forest of green, of heart, flowing waters, moving with the flow, going with the flow, moving forward, doing the best you can by moving forward. Don't swim against the current. Go with the flow. The portal is open. Think outside the flock. Our ancestors are here to help us and be open to the possibility that now is the best time. Take a stand during this time. It is a spiritual time to understand all is one, one is all. You're going to stand for evil and stupidness, or you're going to stand for a little bit more consciousness. Consciousness, really striving to clear out that inner self because there's bad and there's good. They both work together in our world of duality. That's true. However, we've got to make a stand because then your energy works quicker in that flow, works quicker plugged into that positivity, works quicker because it's aligned and calibrated to that clarity. When you are being negative, there's hiccups. When you're being negative, that positivity is still around, but you ain't quite aligned to it. Now, because we live in an electromagnetic universe, there's going to be a certain amount of that, what seems like dark and light, and there should be, because that's going to create an energetic balance. When they both get out of whack, that's when you're not in harmony, and the marriage isn't good, and the weight's not good, and the money is not really that good. Nothing's this whatever. Once we start to align a little bit more, to a little bit of the flow, we feel the magic of who we are. So both sides, those polarities, they're there, but they're in a dance with each other, kept in check, kept in what makes magic happen. So go with the flow. Now 6, 7, 8. An 8 number, right? The infinity, the everlasting symbol. Money of God, fruition. Always eternal cycle. Abundance, prosperity, the infinite supplies what you need. The sign of success, empower yourself. It boosts your, let this 8 boost your self-confidence. The energy of money flow. So we're going to be coming into so much goodness. Let it be. Stop thinking, oh, my day is never. Start saying things like, I am fully equipped to handle this. I may not know every way yet. It will be revealed. I am open to having all that I require fully revealed. I am open and receptive. I'm open and receptive to good. I am unseen by those who would harm. I am unseen by those in judgment. I am unseen by those who find fault. I am unseen. I go about my daily tasks I need. Today I was a little concerned. I kept talking to the divine. I went to AAA. I let the person know who was working on my triptych that I don't know what your protocol is there, but I'm not going to be wearing a mask when I come. So initially he said, well, let's talk in the hallway, let me know when you can come. Well, today when I was going to go, because we said today the triptych would be ready, he couldn't pick up the phone because the way their message system works, the managers, I came to discover, are in charge of they're in charge of the messages that get put on the message machine, which I did choose to leave a message and say, hey, I'm not going to be, I wasn't there for 9, that went by. I'll come at 4:30. That's the time I'm going to come. Paul worked with me. I said I would give him a heads up when I'm coming, so I left it at that. I did try to call back, say I was going to come, because just in case they have this issue of mask and stuff. There was no fucking mask sign on the door. Anyway, there was a sign outside that said something about the RMV, the something about um, the cars or license plate or something like that. There was some advertisement on an A-frame, but I didn't see. Maybe there was something COVID. I didn't know. I noticed anything on the door. I just went in, waited my turn. Girl came over and said, "Oh, this is the." She had a mask on. She said, "This is what Paul did for you," and I was like, "Okay, okay." And she said, "Well, or she said, unless you want to talk to him." I said, "Yeah, just in case I want to clear something up." And she, yeah, she said, "Go sit over there." Like there was nobody there. There were people on the other side. They all had their mask on. I was the only one there, no mask on with visitors. There was probably like 5 or 6 visitors and 5 or 6 people that worked there, and they were all in different places, had the cloth on. Paul knew I wouldn't, explain my situation. I'm not gonna be wearing a mask. I have exempts and stuff, but beyond that, I'm still not gonna be wearing a mask. And I just want to say this to you because I don't want you to be in hot water with any supervisor. I already know how I'm gonna come in. You deal with it how you want to deal with it, or whatever you want to do. But I'm gonna be there and A straight. I'm gonna be there in my face. So I went with the flow. The universe was pretty much like, yeah, you feel upset, or yeah, you're not sure what's going to happen, but no one's going to say anything to you, which they didn't. No one's going to kick you out, which they didn't. Um, and Paul was really nice talking with me, and on some level, he knows like this is stupid and can't wait till the masks come off. And none of these people, when they're working 40+ hours a week, and then they go do their hobbies or their life or go to bed or watch a movie. They don't know to go to Charlie Ward. They don't know to go to Simon Park. They don't know to go to David Rodriguez. They don't know to go to Vincent Benjamin. They don't know to go to Kimberly Palm or Janine Montague or Jean Claude, Jean Claude, who does whatever. They don't know to go to look in certain places. They just know weirdness and frightenness, whatever. So, you know, I may not like it, but they may not like me. I don't know. I don't care. Just gonna send love. Gotta send love best you can. Send love. Send love to people. There's no death. There's no death. Interesting, right? Because on the planet, of course, we do have atonements. If you do kill someone and you really did kill them, you really go to jail or you really get put on death row. And in these past years, in crimes against humanity, which have been happening for a long, long time, people in these bodies will atone to, they can't stick around. If they can't be rehabilitated and they really did cause, eating people and kidnapping people and selling children's and people's organs and financing wars and doing shit and stuff, they're gonna be hung. They're gonna be shot. They're gonna be let go. And the infinite creator will then do with their soul whatever happens next. And that's just that. It's how it works. And not too long ago, you know, in England, you killed somebody, you hung. And you could be very rich, you could be very, didn't you hung when these things happen. Now, not too long ago, we had Nazi Germany and people experimenting and killing people and turning people in. Not too long ago. When Germany itself really rescinded, repented, were embarrassed by their countrymen and this thing of Nazi Germany and killing people off because, they weren't the right strain of human to carry the human race on. So can you people who wear masks and want to get masks, can you hear this? And for those who don't know, because you're too young, look up the Nuremberg Code of 1947. And for those of you who didn't know, ask what the motherfucking thing is in vaccine because your doctor will not tell you. I dare you to report back to me that a doctor said, here are the whole 34 things, or 27 things, or 12 things that are in the vaccine, how it's made, how it attacks the body. And now you can decide if you want to have this junk in there or not. That's all. Because if people are returning to the hospital, who had a vaccine and they're sick. And they're what? Hello? And excuse me, if you get a cold and you are carrying a virus of whatever they say it is, and you didn't get a vaccine, so what the fuck? Because if you get sick, you get sick. And then you get over it. And your immune system is stronger. You wake up to like little simple science, guys. Rise to the occasion. So this is a goddess. When you go to this particular cave, she's waiting there for you. She's waiting there for you because she pierces you with the sort of like those eyes that look deep into you. So you cannot escape your shadow. You can't escape your judgments of you and others. You can't escape. And it aligns you, if you're willing, to your sense of self and soul, that you truly want to emerge your divinity, your divine person, your divine pattern on this planet and be your God on earth. And you step out of the cave of introspection with her after your self-searching and analysis and diving in, facing yourself to emerge in an understanding of your God self. Rise to the occasion. We are all being asked to rise to the occasion. And it's not to really not care about others, but in a way, not care. Just be available if people are needing you, or be that light and let the light shine so that others can see. When I'm in a store, more often than not, I'm happy. I'm happy to be free. I'm happy to be walking without a mask. I'm happy I see people. I'm not always so happy they're in their mask, but they have a right to be like, and I wonder about them. And maybe that's none of my fucking business to wonder about them, but I wonder, you know. And some people talk to you fine as anything. Their idea is they should wear the mask and go along with it. They don't know what you know. Like they know some things I don't know, but they don't know what I know, which is more truth than what I know they know, because they would go and take it off. They would. And for those people that wear the mask down here, well, that's being a little bit of a rebel, isn't it? Aren't you supposed to cover the whole thing so no one knows what's going on? And that when you talk, it's muffled experience? And that you're told not to speak and shut up? A lot of things going on, dudes. Soul search, go within, be the light you were meant to be here. Don't squelch it for anyone. Rise to the occasion. The portal is open. We're being helped. It's time. It's time to see who we really are. Think outside how we normally been taught. Let yourself be walking across that bridge 2022 to 2023, 24, and beyond. You were meant to be here. So shine and come up with way different solutions than ever was before. You can't build a new society on the old ways. That plumbing was bad. It didn't work, but we needed it to get us to this place. It was prophesized by many indigenous peoples. Take a stand. Be a cat. When you are a cat, when you are a cat person or you behaving like a cat, people know if you like them or don't like them, because you don't mince yourself. Now, a dog loves everybody. A dog is like God backwards, right? Dog is good. Cats are good too. They're of a different nobility. They right away say, you smell, forget you. You got food? Great. Let me help. Now I want to sleep. Go, don't touch me, don't touch me. In fact, I'll claw you if you like touch them when they don't want you to touch. Cats? No. Dogs know too, but they're willing to love you right away, almost no matter what. Except the poor dogs that have been abused. Yeah, and then they bite people. Well, hey, at some point when you push to the corner too much, you have to break up. Move with the flow. Move with the flow. Go with the flow. Go with the flow. Grow. Don't fight the current. Be what your soul wants you to be instead of squelching your soul in your light. There is no death. When I leave this body, I'm going to be a light. Now, currently, right now, my mind would be like, oh, I don't want to die while the cats are alive because I'm taking care of cats and I don't want them to be put in a the what you call the shelter or misused or abused or anything. So yeah, I'm taking care of cats. But I know if I leave my body, I'm gonna be spirit. So my particular journey with self is how do I be spirit now? How do I be spirit now in this form and manifestation and all the things I would like to do that are magical? Yeah, let's think that way. That way it's like a happy thought. Why not think happy all the time? Best we can. It's hard to, right? Hard, excuse me. Keep that vibe when there are other things seemingly out of our control because they're there for our experience and our learning. And then partner with the goddess to rise to the occasion. Be more than you are right now. Allow yourself to be the divine being you were sent here to be. Whatever that is, however noble and high, noble and community driven, or simple, because everybody is an important light in the piece of the puzzle, right? How do you feel when you have a puzzle you want to put together? There's 1,000 or 15,000 or 3,000 puzzle pieces. And gosh, if you can't find that one puzzle piece, don't you really want that one puzzle piece? That hole you wanna put the puzzle piece in place, how complete it feels. And every puzzle piece, as weird as the shapes may be, all fit together. Each piece, each section, building upon each other to tell a story to completion. And that's what we have right now. A little bit of a show of how we are taking care of ourselves right now with these current events and how to be. The portal is open. Think outside the flock. Take a stand. Move with the flow. There is no death. In fact, this is number 1, and the other one is 6. So, number 1 is straight like an arrow, strong, assertive, individual, discovery, self, know thyself, power within, a great start to new beginnings. Because there is no death, just the beginnings. Just like now, our new earth, our new planet, our new time, and rise to the occasion. So number 6, rid your life of negative energy. It can represent lovers. So, okay, are you lovers that need to be away from each other? Connect to your higher self, higher guidance, embrace inner peace, self-love, self-care. The 6s tend to be a mirror, to be aware of yourself, and find a way where you will show or reveal, they show or reveal, or they lead to a solution. So that is like the goddess. When you go into the cave to meet this particular goddess, she pierces you with her eyes to help show and reveal that which is deep within you and where you truly want to be, which in this case, that was a story about a gentleman seeking more, finding that goddess, and he emerged from the cave, knowing more, being in touch with, in a different way with himself than ever before. He was his high self in embodied, which is what we have a high self, but we can talk to our high self and embody that as much as possible in these forms. You can do anything, connect to your guides, focus the vision in your mind, become that. So I'm curious what all the cards add up to. I want to see what the number will be. 1 second. Uh, uh, okay. This is a much longer card reading than I thought. We are already at a little over an hour, but bear with me for one moment longer. And what I'm going to do is condense the numbers. So we'll have 4, 9, 10, 11, just 2. We have a 7. We have an 8. We have a 1. We have a 6. We have a 15. We have a 7. We have a 7. We have a 12. So we have an 8. and a 2 is 10, and we're down back to 1. So the cards as a collective tonight are bringing, oh, that was magnetic, bringing us back to the number 1. And so the cards are supporting us with also this number. Be straight like an arrow, strong and assertive. Start to embrace knowing yourself. Go inside yourself, be yourself for that individual self-discovery. Let that power within shine. This time is a great start to new beginnings. I hope that this card reading has helped you. I know that this has been rather long. I didn't plan it that way. I didn't plan it at all. In fact, I wasn't sure I'd have but 2 words to say. So contact me if you'd like to share any thoughts about this. You can put it in the comments when this gets forwarded. You can connect with me via that email that's in the descriptions, southwestcoyoteheart@gmail.com. And if you liked this at all, please subscribe and share. And I hope to be of service to you for any physical healings, card readings. I'm getting actually a tarot deck. So I'm excited about that tarot deck that's coming, which is totally different than the oracle deck. But looking forward to that. Looking forward to getting into my art, finding my soul home, which currently right now looks the United States, but at some point, who knows, maybe as a much older lady, I'll end up in England and in a quaint cottage. But for right now, looks like that quaint cottage type to be here, where I, do the things I love to do out of that cottage, selling art and healing art, pendants, things that I want to make and just help people feel uplifted and also healed through, gosh, I got something in my eye, and just the healing that was downloaded into me. So my little coyote heart just loves you. Have a great night. See you tomorrow.